Hey, we're back. Episode number 5.
Is it 5, really?
This is number 5.
Okay.
Seems like a lot more, right? Or a lot less.
Well, had some difficulties here, so
Yeah,
don't mind us.
just don't breathe.
Don't breathe. Yeah, because like we're really
The
lo-fi.
yeah. The lo-fi is really coming out today. We're like, we're hoping the camera doesn't just like, the tape doesn't come off and it just like.
We're working
Clumps.
on it. We're working
Yeah,
on it.
we're working on it.
Doesn't matter anyways.
Hey, but we're here for you. We're here to check in with you guys. How's it going? It's been a rough week, huh? I mean, with the COVID and everything going to fires.
But what about you? I mean,
what about me?
I've had some ups and downs this week.
It's been a rough week. It's been a rough week. We're not going to lie to you. I mean, the COVID thing really bums me out because we really need to be beyond this. I have my thoughts and feelings.
We're not going to talk about that.
We won't open that can of worms up. But the main thing is that we need to take care of ourselves. We need to take care of each other. And we need to do the things that keep us going, keep us smiling, keep us happy and sane.
Even if it's a fake smile.
I mean,
we're going to smile on your face. It does make you feel better.
It does. It does. And sometimes,
even if you're having a shitty day.
Yeah. I mean, faking it till you make it. There's a thing. We're going to actually have a show on that down the road. A show that's based on basically fake it till you make it. And someone said it's not fake it till you make it. It's fake it till you. Anyway, there's another thing. There's another thing that someone says.
Sunday, they want to get their content. And
Yes.
Really
all right.
On.
So let's with that in mind. So it was kind of an interesting week in the news. There was some mental illness, mental health in the news. Of course, the Olympics, they wrapped up. One of the big takeaways from, other than it was a financial catastrophe, as far as money-wise, revenues, it was one of the worst ever. And Japan's going to be feeling this for a long time as far as, because usually the host country makes a lot of revenue, tourism and stuff. And they were basically saying, don't come. But there was an article in the paper on, I don't know. August 9th, in the Register Guard. And it was about psilocybin. Psilocybin. Psilocybin looks like it's it's a weird word.
Tell people what it is.
So psilocybin. Yeah, so psilocybin is the magic in magic mushrooms. It's the actual thing that the hallucinogenic compound is psilocybin, and we voted for this. Remember?
I know. Yeah.
So Oregon had a chance to vote for this psilocybin therapy, and we did. We voted. Was that last year or the year before?
No, it was last year.
Okay, all right. Well, we voted and we passed it, and so there was an article basically that psilocybin shows promise for mental illness, mental health therapy. It says psilocybin can help reduce depression and anxiety as well as recovery from alcohol and tobacco use. So there's multiple benefits. Now, that being said, there's also some negatives. Of course, there's always side effects. And these are the things that they list. Transient effects, including nausea, vomiting, headache, increased heart rate, increases in blood pressure, QT interval prolongation. I don't know what that is. Feelings of isolation, preoccupation with death. That's a bad thing. Kind of weird. Transient thought disorder, transient paranoia may occur, blah, blah, blah. So obviously there's some, that's why you have to do it in a controlled environment, in a controlled setting. Let's see. Across studies, psilocybin increased spiritual well-being, and that's what I've heard. I've heard that this has been used throughout generations in religious and spiritual type of rituals and situations. So there's a real spirituality. So that's why I'm interested. I'm totally interested in doing it. some
You
magic
could do
mushrooms.
it. I don't think I would be able to, but
Well, right.
maybe.
So it has been designated as a breakthrough therapy, suggesting it may be significant improvement over existing treatments. So this is it's a real. They're putting some real money and some effort into that, and so I'm really interested to see where that goes as far as the psilocybin is concerned. I'm very much interested in the outcome, and anything that provides another alternative is something that I'm down for. So today is kind of an interesting topic.
It's your thing because you're very creative.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
okay.
fall under that.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about depression and mental health with creativity. Now, this is not going to be, talking about how certain creative people deal with depression, and that there's a very close link between, sometimes they say, between genius and madness, and it is, and we will definitely have a discussion about that at some point. This is about the act of creation or creativity as a whole, and what it does to your brain. Okay, and why that's a good thing when it comes to mental health. Okay, so there was been a lot of studies, and these have been going back since 2018, 2019. And everything's studying, and so what we're going to talk about today is studies based on what's fMRI, so functional magnetic resonance imaging, so MRI. You know the tube, the big donut that you lay in.
Oh, like MRIs.
Yeah, MRIs. You've had the MRI, right? Have you not?
No, I have not.
I don't like MRIs. I've
You're
had.
claustrophobic, so.
Yeah, if you're claustrophobic, it sucks. I'm just going to say it. It's like you lay there and try not to freak out while it's like ding, 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 ding all around you for like 3 hours. And it's not 3 hours, it's like 20 minutes. Feels like forever. So yeah, if you're claustrophobic, MRI's no bueno. But anyway, but what they do is they look at the brain. Really good. It's a really interesting way they do it. And so they can tell what parts of the brain are being activated given a set of a stimuli to the person. And so that means if you're just laying there, they can tell which parts of your brain are being used, because what happens is the part that you turn on is the oxygen level increases in the hemoglobin, and
right.
Also with that iron, because iron is a part of our, there's lots of iron in our blood, right. and so with the iron, that's where that magnetic resonance imaging comes in. They actually see it through because of the iron. Anyway, I found that interesting.
You're going down a rabbit hole.
Yes, I am. But it's very interesting how this is how they could tell. So when we talk about this kind of study, they're using this fMRI, and that's how they're doing it. Now, that being said, so you're understanding, okay, the people who are being asked these questions, or study participants, they're in the tube.
Right.
They're in the tube. How do you? I mean, you can't have someone paint in the tube.
No.
You can't have someone, write prose or, shoot. I mean, there's very little. You can't draw a picture. So
What
really,
do they do?
so what they've done is, when we talk about creativity in relation to this, we are talking about a thing. What did they call it? And I've written some notes here, and I've lost the word I'm looking for. Oh, divergent thinking. Divergent thinking, and that's what they're looking for as far as creativity, because they could ask questions, and divergent thinking is basically outside of the box. All right, how else would you do this? Given you had a stick and a roll of duct tape, how would you get off the island? So you're sitting there thinking about ways to do it. That's divergent thinking. So that's what they're measuring here. But it's that form of creativity. Okay, and so some of the things that they found is that there used to be. You've heard the term? You're a left brain thinker or right brain
Right.
thinker, and the right brain thinker is like the really creative and free flowing, and the left brain thinker is more structured.
Is
And
that true what you're saying, or you just make it?
no. I mean, it's true. That's what they used to
Okay,
think.
okay.
You know, they thought that predominantly the creativity side of a person came from the right hemisphere, and the more structured stuff came from the left. They found that is not the case. That is not true. That has been disproved um, by these recent studies. So what they have found, however, the dog is here.
Here she
Izzy, guest appearance. Okay, so since she's here, I need to make it. I just want to say, um, all the stuff that I got, I just looked on the internet. So I am not a, I should probably disclaim that I'm not a neuroscience person. Yeah, I do not have a pocket protector or letters after my name.
But
so
you're pretty close. You are very.
I mean, I've just been dealing with, and it's very interesting. I find this stuff fascinating. So anyway, all right. So here's what to kind of get going on this. What they found is that there's 3 networks in our brain that make up our day-to-day braining as we go through our day, as we brain. 3 major brain networks. We have something called the default mode network. We have something called the executive control network, and then we have a salience network. Okay, so let me just kind of tell you what these 3 networks do, and then I'm going to bring this all around to make sense. So the first one, default mode, is really like it says, default. We're defaulted. If we are just sitting there, not sleeping, but if we're awake but in idle mode, like if we're working,
right,
we're at work and we're just like, punching out the stuff or making, but we're not actively thinking. And it's kind of like that. So if you've been driving and you're like
I'm on autopilot whenever I'm driving.
Yeah, like but have you been driving? Well, I know, but
I know my car.
Like if you're driving and you're like, holy crap, how did I don't even remember driving here. I mean, it's like, that's, you've been safe. That's your default mode network. You're still brain's being active. Okay. So that's that. The next, executive control network, basically manages what's going on. It's like what it is. It makes your decisions. Stop licking me. It helps you, rationalize things. And then your salience network, it's basically your safety net, so to speak, in the sense that it knows what to pay attention to, or what could kind of fly under the radar. So, meaning that yeah. So that's the network that's always scanning, and that's so. Interesting side note, the salience network is on high alert a lot of times with people with PTSD, because they're always, especially combat veterans with PTSD, is because their salience network is highly active all the time. Anyway, so anyway, we have these 3 networks, and they account for a lot of our brain. I mean, a vast amount of our brain. And so during creativity, the 3 networks actually work together. What are you looking at?
Oh, I'm afraid to touch that computer. I might cook us all off.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. Heaven forbid. They're all on the edges of their seats, wanting to know how this ties together. So anyway, so when we do something creative, if we are solving a problem, if we're working a puzzle, if we are painting a picture, if we're doing something that would be defined as creative, those 3 networks are working together to bring creativity. Okay, so that's huge. It's not just one part of the brain. It's a broad spectrum of the brain. So creativity, especially active creativity. Not just like if we're zoned out and the pen's moving around and we're making little squiggles. I mean, if we're actively in the process of creating something, it's our brains are like it's like everything's lit up. So that's something that's very important.
The new meaning to being lit.
Yeah, very good. I like that. Lit. So, but so many people will say, you say it all the time, I'm not a creative person. I don't know. I mean,
I'm not artsy. I'm not.
Right. You say I can't paint a picture. I can't do this.
God,
and so,
no,
so what I'm encouraging people to do today, there's a lot of people that would probably hear this and say, yeah, I couldn't draw a picture to save my life. If someone was actually threatening me and saying, I'm going to kill you unless you draw a picture with a reasonable likeness, I mean, they're like, I'd just die. That just because you can't draw or paint doesn't mean you can't be creative. There's a lot of different things. Working a puzzle, I mean, puzzles are creative. Working word problems, doing different, coming up with different ideas to do the same thing. Anything out of the box that requires some thought. I mean, awesome to do. Now, there's kind of a not really a drawback, but there's something I want to add here. So when you talk about the parts of the brain that they say, there's a lot of speculation about what part of the brain depression comes from or mental illness comes from. There's no real consensus about, okay, it's this or that, but what they do say is that the parts of the brain that they know that are damaged from depression or in certain amygdala. You have the amygdala. You have the hippocampus and the I'm trying to remember this. Dorsomedial thalamus. All right, those are the three areas that they know are pretty much connected with depression. Okay. Again, big whatever. Words. Yeah. So now those things are important because especially the amygdala and the hippocampus. Is it hippocampus? Yeah, hippocampus are part of the limbic system. Okay.
You told me that earlier.
Yes. Well, yeah. So the limbic system, it's a very important part of our. Sometimes it's the paleo mammalian brain.
Quit using big words.
Oh, I'm trying to impress everybody.
Not impressive.
But you could. Have you ever heard of the reptile brain?
I've heard that before. But
yeah, right. Reptile. So that's the limbic system, or not fully.
Yeah, dumb this down, please. Dumb it down.
Sympathetic nervous system is also anyway. So anyway, this is the part of the brain that has been with us for forever, since basically the dawn of man. It deals largely with the things that we. What?
Look at it.
I wanted to make sure that someone that we're actually on. If someone would have texted me saying, "Hey, I can't hear you" or whatever, I wanted to find that out. It was nothing. It was an ad. So anyway, the part of our brain that deals with survival, that they call it the hardwired through evolution part of our brain. So where we get fight and flight, now it's fight, flight, or freeze, which I thought freeze would be more like fright, but that's topic for another day. So that's the fight or flight part. So what will happen is when our limbic system, when those parts of our brain are like on higher alert, or if we're going through something, it will actually shut off power to the parts of the other brain, like the prefrontal cortex. And so what it does is it shuts down the creative processes of the brain. Basically, the brain's telling us, okay, there's some danger or there's something going on that I need you to focus on this and not be painting a picture or doing Sudoku or something, you know? And so that's the deal with that is so what I will say is we need creativity, but in order for us to access the creativity, we have to make sure that our amygdala is calm. And if we're very depressed, if we're in a bad state, it's hard to access because those parts of our brain are on higher alert. And so in essence, it kind of shuts down the creative parts of our brain, which is against what we're trying to do. So we need to, so I would say creativity, we need to absolutely be creative. But if we're in a really bad state of affairs mentally,
what would you do if somebody came to you?
If someone says, you know, I can't, I mean, I think the absolute first thing to do is calm yourself. Is if you haven't tried meditation, is to meditate, is to, you know, first of all, let me just say this, make sure you're not about to die. Make sure no one's chasing you down and that you're physically in a safe place. I mean, that's number one. I mean, if you're being chased, then maybe deal with that first. But given that, okay, you're going to live and everything's fine, is you got to shut down the limbic system. And I don't mean shut it down. I mean, you need to take it off alert so it could actually allow you to be creative. And so many people, when they're like, well, I'm so depressed and nothing works. And creativity would absolutely work. Absolutely. But you have to give it a chance. It will not work.
Basically, take deep breaths.
Take some very deep breaths. Try to center yourself. Take a walk. Walks are amazing. Take a walk around the block. Whatever it was that was stressing you, if you were watching the news, if you were on social media, whatever it was, turn that off. Step away from that. You need to calm down. And this is the step that people miss all the time. Is that they want to be creative, they want the benefits of creativity, but they don't know how. It's like I can't do it. Well, you have to allow yourself to do that. So those things, find something that calms you. Take a bath, take a hot shower, and then after that you take some deep breaths and then try something. Try working a puzzle. I mean, I love painting is amazing, and you don't have to be good at it. And that's another thing I'd say is separate your ego from what you're doing. Painting is, not the ends, it's the means. It is not the destination, it is the journey. And so by just messing around and throwing some paint on a canvas, and I mean, it's like your brain is, lit. Like you said, it's amazing. Same with drawing. You don't have to draw something that looks good. We have this thing where it's like when we do something, we have to be good at it. We have to. It's got to do. It's like, have you seen art? I mean, there's some art out there that's like, is that art? Oh yeah. Here, I mean, there was some. What was it? The duct tape. Someone duct taped a banana to a canvas, and they sold it for like $10,000. I mean, if you take a shower, take a walk, then duct tape a banana to a canvas. I mean, you could make $1 million and feel better, way better. So anyway, that would be, I guess what I'm trying to say with all this is that summing it up, creativity is vital. It is absolutely one of the best things you could do to help yourself and to make yourself feel better. Be creative and be creative in your creativity. Find what works for you. Yeah. Stack rock. Go down the river and stack some rocks. Do something that makes you feel good. And so I would say that's very important, but don't expect much from it other than the doing of it. And make sure that you're calm when you do it. Or, you have control over your emotions, and that will allow that creativity to fire up all those places your brain. It won't be those things won't be shut down. So that's exactly what I would say. It is one of my go-to feel better situations. If I'm in the shit, if I'm in the trenches,
yeah, when he's there, it's like, oh
God, yeah. I mean, I need
now. What mess am I gonna have?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make a mess, and that's just how it's gonna be.
I hate it.
I'm gonna make a mess, but I mean, that's not a mess. It's survival.
No, it is. It's survival.
And so
I've learned to just accept it. And just,
and dogs. Get dogs because they're amazing. You love them. Get a lot of dogs. Get like 50 of them. So anyway, so you're very important to us. You're absolutely very important. Reach out to us at any time if you need some help. If you need to talk. Yeah, if you want to be creative together. Yeah, I mean, we'll here to listen. We'll go. If you have someone you don't like, let's go tag their house. I mean, let's just get some paint. I'm joking about that. But you're very important, and you need to be important to you, and you need to do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. So with that being said, we love you, we appreciate you, and we value you. You have value to us. So take good care. And we will be here.
It'll be better next week. Our setup will.
Yeah, I'm not going to promise anything. I'm not going to promise it. We're going to try. We're going to keep trying.
All right, guys. Thank you.